He stood in court, silent, not because he was guilty, but because he had no need to defend himself. The room was thick with tension. Accusations filled the air, echoing off marble pillars and cold stone walls. The prosecution's words were sharp and biting, their tone certain. But he did not flinch. He did not argue. He simply closed his eyes and waited. There was no evidence, no proof, only words, only noise, and yet the pressure was suffocating. Most would have withered under the glare of suspicion, would have pleaded, bargained, tried to explain, but not him. He stood there, calm, unmoved, like a rock in the midst of a storm. Then, something remarkable happened. One by one, people rose from the crowd, from the back of the courtroom, from the benches, from the shadows. Ordinary people, neighbors, colleagues, even strangers stood and spoke. "This man, I trust him with my life," said one. "He once returned money I didn't even know I lost," said another. "He's different. He always does what's right, even when no one is watching." Their voices cut through the accusations like sunlight through fog. The judge listened. The jury listened. And the silence that followed was no longer hostile, but reverent. Because what saved him that day wasn't a lawyer's clever argument or a loophole in the law. It was his name, his integrity, the silent voice that speaks when you're not in the room. The invisible shield that can't be bought, can't be faked, can't be stolen. Integrity is what remains when everything else falls apart. It's the one thing that keeps you standing when all else fails. But how often do we see that kind of integrity today? Look around. We live in a world where lying is celebrated. Cheating is normalized. Shortcuts are applauded. Every headline screams scandal. Every day brings fresh outrage. Corruption, manipulation, betrayal. These are the currencies of our times. Influencers lie for views. Politicians lie for votes. People lie on resumes, in relationships, in business, just to get one step ahead. It's easy to be cynical, to think that honesty is for the naive, the slow, the ones left behind. Because, let's be honest, sometimes the cheaters do win. Sometimes the liars do get ahead. Sometimes the manipulators do get rich. But ask yourself, does it last? Bread gained by deceit is sweet to a man, but afterward, his mouth will be full of gravel. Wisdom from Proverbs, ancient but true. Yes, for a moment, those who cut corners and bend the rules shine. They flash their wealth, their success, their followers, their influence. But do they sleep well at night? Do they have peace? Can they look themselves in the mirror, unflinching and unashamed? Because integrity is not what you show to others. It's who you are when no one is looking. It's the decisions you make in the quiet, when there's no applause, no audience, no one to impress. Temptation is everywhere. The world will tell you to join the bandwagon, to do what everyone else is doing, to cut corners, fudge the numbers, tell a little white lie. And if you refuse, you'll be mocked. You'll be called slow, naive, stubborn. You'll be told everybody's doing it. But remember this, a rotten crowd will never lead you to a righteous crown. Just because everyone is running toward destruction doesn't mean you should follow. Stay different, stay true. Because in the end, when the lights go off and the crowd disappears, only one thing will stand: your name. A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Another timeless truth from Proverbs. Why choose integrity when it costs you? Why be honest when the world rewards the opposite? Because integrity may not pay immediately, but it always pays. It might cost you today. You might lose a deal, a friend, an opportunity. You might feel like you're falling behind while others surge ahead. But the rewards of integrity are not always immediate, not always visible. They are deeper, stronger, more lasting. When you live with integrity, people trust you. People vouch for you. Doors open not because you forced them, but because your name knocked. You sleep with peace. You walk with confidence. You gain influence that can't be bought with money, can't be engineered with manipulation. Influence built on character lasts. Influence built on deception crumbles with time. Better is the poor who walks in his integrity than one who is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Rich or poor, your character is your true wealth. And here's the secret. Integrity speaks even in your absence. One day, your name will enter a room you've never walked into. A decision will be made about you, and you won't be there to speak for yourself. But your actions will speak. Your reputation will testify. Your integrity will be the silent witness. And that's the beauty of a good name. It walks into rooms, into hearts, into opportunities, long before you do. It's your legacy, and legacy is greater than currency. Don't be moved by what you see. Don't measure your worth by the success of those who cut corners. Don't envy the wicked. Don't desire their company. Their gains are fleeting. Their triumphs shallow. Stay focused. Stay grounded. Keep your name clean, your conscience clear. Because one day, those who mocked you, who laughed at your slow and steady path, will come to you. They'll say, "Teach me how you did it. Teach me how you stood firm. Teach me how you built a life that lasts." You may not have wealth right now. You may not have recognition or applause. But if you have integrity, you have something any rich people don't. Peace, trust, honor, respect, a good name. And when it's all said and done, those are the things that truly matter. So don't be moved by what you see. Don't let the world change your values. Hold your head high, walk in truth, and let your integrity be your legacy. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Let these words guide you, because in the end, integrity always wins. Let's go deeper. Why does integrity matter so much? Why is a good name considered greater than gold when the world seems to reward quick wins and clever shortcuts? The answer is simple, yet profound. Trust is the foundation of every relationship. Personal, professional, and communal. Without trust, everything collapses. And trust is built brick by brick with integrity. Imagine a society where trust is broken, where you cannot believe a promise, a contract, a handshake, where every deal is suspect, every relationship uncertain. That is not just an inefficient society. It is a miserable one. But now imagine the opposite. A world where people mean what they say, where promises are kept, where honesty is honored, where a good name opens doors. That is a flourishing society. That is a place where people thrive. This is why integrity is so precious. It is the oil that keeps the gears of life running smoothly. It is the unseen force that makes communities strong, businesses stable, friendships deep, families secure. And it starts with you, with your choices, big and small, with your willingness to do what's right, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. Integrity is forged in private, but its effects are public. It is tested in small things, but it shines in moments of crisis. Ask yourself, who do you admire most? Is it the brash, the clever, the wealthy, or is it the one whose word you can trust? whose actions are consistent, whose life is a testament to quiet strength. Throughout history, the names we remember are those who stood for something, who refused to bend even when it cost them everything, who understood that a good name is worth more than all the gold in the world. Take the example of people who have changed the world, not by force, not by manipulation, but by steadfast commitment to truth. Their legacies endure because their integrity was unshakable. But what about you? What about the temptations you face every day? The little lies that seem harmless, the shortcuts that promise quick rewards. It's easy to justify, to say, just this once, to believe that no one will notice, no one will care. But every choice shapes your character. Every compromise chips away at your foundation, and every act of integrity, no matter how small, strengthens you for the bigger tests to come. Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, about admitting your mistakes, making them right, and choosing the hard path when it matters. You may lose opportunities by holding to your principles. You may be passed over, laughed at, excluded. But the reward is far greater than what you lose. Because when you choose integrity, you choose peace. You choose respect. You choose a life that stands firm, no matter the storm. And in the end, you choose a legacy that will outlast you. There will be days when you are tempted to give in, when the pressure mounts, when the rewards of compromise seem too great to resist. But remember, everything gained by dishonesty is tainted. It brings no true satisfaction, no lasting peace. Choose the better portion. Choose integrity, and when you do, you'll find that people notice. It may not be immediate, it may not be flashy, but word spreads. Your reputation grows. Your name becomes a key that opens doors others can only dream of. One day, someone will speak up for you, simply because of who you are. Opportunities will come, not because you chased them, but because your name invited them. And perhaps, most importantly, you will be able to look yourself in the mirror each morning, unashamed, to walk through life with your head held high, knowing you are true to yourself. The world needs people of integrity. It is hungry for honesty, for trust, for authenticity. In a sea of fake, be real. In a world of noise, be a quiet example. You may not change the world overnight, but you will change your world. You will influence your family, your friends, your workplace, your community, and who knows? The ripple effects of your integrity may go further than you can imagine. So today, make the choice. Build your life on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Value your name above riches. Guard your character like treasure. Do the right thing, even when it's hard, even when it hurts, even when no one sees, because someone always sees. And in time, the world will know. Integrity is not the easy path. It is not always the popular path, but it is the only path that leads to true success, true respect, true fulfillment. As the old proverb says, the integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perversity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Let that guide you. Because when the dust settles, when the crowds fade, when the gold loses its luster, one thing will remain: your name. Make it a good one. Integrity greater than gold, always